Okay.
Yep, no doubt. And that's what I wanted to talk to you about. If you're good with this occult junk, how do you think she died from a website? Do you reckon my request really killed her? Cause I don't really want this shit on my conscience, you know?
I don't know what to say.
Come on. I was only really joking around with the website. Didn't think for a second that it could really work. But now, this bitch is cold in the ground, and I can't sleep at night.
She's smiling.
Keeping Shinya close is the only thing making me calm lately.
Tomoe seems to be showing a little remorse, which I didn't think she had in her. If she thought the website was a joke, then fair enough, it's only natural that she'd want to play around with it. Then again, I'm kind of offended that she figured the whole thing was fake. Corpse Girl has worked too damn hard to be considered a joke. Yeah, but only one person has died from the website, so at that point. But I want to get to the bottom of this. I need to find out whose death Tomoe requested. And more importantly, the question of who requested my own death remains unanswered.
Tomoe, what's the name of the person you requested to die?
Her name? Oh, you might know her. It was that skank from our office, Akane Tsurumaki.
Akane Tsurumaki. Sure enough, she's well and truly dead. Tomoe isn't wrong in believing that the website killed Akane. Tomoe once posted on Noise about wanting to try the website, and she was waiting to find someone to try it on. If I recall correctly, the request for Akane's death came through Corpse Girl's website shortly after I read that post. Perhaps Tomoe made the request on the very same day, so then Tomoe was the one responsible. I assumed the person who requested Akane's death was someone in our office, but I never figured it would be a junior data entry temp like Tomoe. How did Tomoe even know Akane? I can't see how their paths would have crossed in such a large office building.
Yo, Psycho, you in there?
I snap out of my thoughts and meet Tomoe's dead-eyed gaze.
Your professional opinion, can a website really kill someone?
I'm torn between giving two replies. I could state that I believe the website worked and therefore help increase Corpse Girl's credibility, or I could play it safe and make sure I'm not suspected of any involvement. Coward that I am, I decide to play it safe.
No, absolutely not. A website can't kill someone.
Yeah, I figured. Guess it's just a coincidence that she died. You reckon I'm not guilty then? I didn't really want the bitch dead anyway. I was just mucking around.
Yeah, you're not guilty.
Thank God. That's a real weight off my elbows, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I sure as shit won't mess around with sites like that again, though. I'm gonna play it real straight from now on. I gotta get my life together. I got a man to look after now.
Right. Well, good luck with that. I need to get home.
Cute fit, by the way. It's cute. All I want to do now is get back and figure out who the hell uploaded a photo of me to the website. My mind is reeling, and I'm not in the right headspace to listen to Tomoe's drivel any longer.
Hey, for what it's worth, which ain't much. Thanks. Thanks for putting my mind at ease. I know we ain't always seen eye to eye, and, well, nah. That's about it for now.
For a fleeting moment, I imagined that she was about to apologize for assaulting me last week. That possibility disappeared from my mind almost as soon as it had appeared.
See you tomorrow.
Boy. She waves, almost sheepishly, and wanders back through the park in the direction that I came from. Right, time to go home. I can't relax until I know who requested my death. If it wasn't Tomoe, then this situation could be a lot more serious than I originally thought. If it wasn't because of my petty squabbles with her, then someone really wants me dead. Who? A-O-E. Nice. I can't sleep. It must be past 3 a.m. Countless hours have passed since I started trying to figure out who requested my death. I've run through every possible candidate and their potential reasons 1,000 times. I've replayed every encounter I've ever had with every person I've ever met, and I'm drawing a blank. I don't know who wants me dead. I'm not so vain to think that everybody likes me. I'm sure a hell of a lot of people don't like me very much at all. But does anyone not like me enough to want me dead? To nominate me for Corpse Girl to claim as her prey? I take little solace in the fact that my life isn't actually in danger. Corpse Girl's victims are only brought low by my hand. Though my convictions are strong and I never refuse a request, taking my own life is absolutely out of the question. This is the one and only request that I will ever refuse. And it's not for the sake of my own life, but rather for the sake of Corpse Girl's continued existence. I will not let her die and be buried with me. However, now that I've eaten of the knowledge that somebody genuinely wants me dead, I can't cure my upset stomach. No amount of mental reassurance will quell the sickness rising inside of me. The top candidates are, of course, those closest to me. I've crossed Tomoe off the list. Her relief at knowing Akane Suramaki's death wasn't her fault convinced me that she wouldn't make the mistake of messing with the website twice. Add to the fact that she came to me for reassurance, well, it's safe to say that she's not the person I'm looking for. So that leaves the people I deal with on a daily basis. Sorry, I had to cough. Aoi Sato, my best friend since junior high and the first person I ever fell for. She rejected me gracefully during senior high, so gracefully that we still remain friends to this day. Would she want me dead? It's doubtful. She wouldn't even report her stalker, a guy who she is apparently related to the police because she didn't want him arrested. Yeah, but like, she got real angry with you. Does she get angry with anyone else? Then there's Shinya Fujikawa, another acquaintance from school and now my co-worker. He has even gone so far as to call us friends now that we're connected on Noise. I've never been romantically interested in him, but I was under the false impression that he had feelings for me. He's a wannabe detective, but he doesn't have the competence to follow in his father's footsteps. He doesn't strike me as the type to want somebody dead, let alone go through with requesting somebody's death. Still, quiet, guarded people like him can really surprise you. When you take those three out of the equation, the people I deal with daily are very few. There are the higher-ups and execs at work, like Kotomi Ida, but our dealings are so short and simple that I'm sure I barely even register on their radar. If I extend my list of candidates to include people that I don't deal with regularly, but who are technically still part of my life, then the list gets a little more interesting and harder to narrow down. Kenji and Momo Ogawa, the father and daughter living in my apartment building. They're sweet, kind, and considerate. Couldn't imagine they'd want to kill me unless I'm really using up too much of their internet bandwidth and they just can't take it anymore. There's my eldest sister, of course, Yuriko Kurosawa. We haven't talked in over a year at least. Yuriko, is that a name on the list of people? Yep. I think I might be right about... They look so different, but I think I might be right. She's scum, but probably not the type to randomly elect her own sister for death. Probably. She's on parole, so I have to believe she wouldn't do anything to jeopardize her freedom. And there's Mother, Asuna Kurosawa. She's simply not in a position to submit my details to Corpse Girl's website. My struggling brain can't think of anyone else currently in my life. I have a very small social circle, it's true. All the people that fill my Noise newsfeed have either already been named on this list, or they are from such a small, long-ago part of my life that they wouldn't even remember I exist anymore. And then, suddenly and without warning, a face pops into my mind with startling clarity. That guy from the library. Kojiro, was it? Kojiro, with no surname. He was bizarre, eccentric, didn't seem like the type of person that gets outside much, kind of like me, I suppose. His eyes were so clear it was unnerving. They say the eyes are the window to the soul, but I couldn't see anything of substance through his lenses. Out of everyone I've mentally listed, he seems like the person most capable of taking someone's life. That's a biased opinion based on little to no knowledge of him. It's just the impression he gives. However, I have to ask myself, would he want me dead? Me, a person he met one time at the library. In addition, the photo of me that was uploaded to my website was from Temujin's corporate system. It's the very same picture that I wear on my ID tag. How would Kojiro have accessed it? If he was going to upload a photo of me, he would have found my Noise profile and used an image from one of my albums. There aren't too many photos of me on there, but there are enough to identify me. The guy is suspicious, but I don't think he's the one I'm looking for. Yet I can't get his face out of my mind. On a whim, I snatch up my phone from beside me and unlock the screen. The bright light shines like a beacon in the darkness and nearly blinds me, but I squint to navigate to the Noise app. Kojiro, he told me his Noise tag, didn't he? Koji? If I can remember it, it'll save me the hassle of having to look through hundreds of profiles with the same name just to find him. What was it? Kojiro? No, too simple. Koji something. I start to type different variations until an auto-predicted result pops up. Koji. That's the one. I tap the result and instantly arrive at his profile. The info in his About Me section is pretty vague, but judging by the display photo, I'm certain this is the right guy. Koji, just your average guy, taking my days one at a time. Introvert, antisocial, anti-establishment, anti-everything, lol. I like peanut butter though. Ugh, I hate him. I scroll through his feed and see that he hasn't posted anything for quite some time. His most recent photo is from about a year ago, and it's just an updated version of his display picture where he has cropped out a woman's face and body, so the focus is just on him. I open up a direct message to him and start typing. Hey, is this Kojiro from the library? It's Noriko. Kurosawa. Since it's past 3 a.m., I'm not expecting a reply until I instantly receive a message in response. Hi, late night. He replied so quickly. I swallow and gather the nerve to ask him what's on my mind. Yes, I can't sleep. Have you heard of Corpse Girl's website? The screen states that he's currently typing a message, but then the notification simply disappears and no message comes through. Is he ignoring me? Then, yes. So he does know about the website. The question is, was he already familiar with it, or did he just look it up after I mentioned it? What are your thoughts? Is it real? Yes, love it. Big fan. I see. Me too. Have you used it? No. Well, no, not yet. Don't hate anyone enough. It's hard to get a sense of his emotion through his replies. I can't tell if he's being sincere or not. Wait, have you used it? Tell me. Tell me details. Does it work? No, I haven't used it, but it's popular in my office. I don't know why I wrote that or why I ended the message with a question mark. I shake my head and wait for a response. Okay, let me know if you use it. Might be work for me. Might be work for me? What does he mean by that? Work? Yes, I store cadavers, dispose of later. I don't understand. Hospital morgue, storage and disposal. He works at a morgue? I noticed a strange smell on his clothes when we met, and now it makes sense. I gag a little and suppress the urge to vomit. So if someone dies, they get sent to you, even for, like, suicides or murders. Yes, all sorts. Why does he keep, like... It's like he uses the... I use cap... I think I'm in the minority who does this, but I use the caps lock key and then capitalize something. It's just like that. I guess I'm just used to it, but I know a lot of people just shift capitalize. I wonder if he does that, but he's like typing too fast. Worst to crash victims. Have to mix and match limbs. Have you ever received a victim of Corpse Girl's website? Impossible to know. Maybe? Who can say? Have a name? A name? Can you look up the names of bodies he's received? Can you look up such a thing? Yes, cadavers are ID'd, mostly. Know a victim? Should I ask? Will doing so put me under suspicion of being associated with Corpse Girl? Hello? I can look now, at work. I start to nervously bite my fingernails. I know that I won't gain anything from finding out if he's dealt with any of the victims, but morbid curiosity tends to get the better of me. Sometimes I just have to know. Akane Suramaki. Okay, a second. No, correct spelling? Got an M, Suramaki. And Akane Surumi. That's not right. Close enough. Close though. Okay, more names. Eiichi Hanada. One sec. Yes, crash victim. Bad. I remember him. He's still here, actually. I can't believe what I'm reading. Eiichi Hanada ended up at Kojiro's morgue, and he's still there. Really? How long do you store bodies? Depends, up to 2 days for autopsy. No autopsy for him. No need. So he just sits here, cold chamber number 31BB. If family don't collect them, then cremation. Is cremation what you mean by disposal? Yes, mostly. Friend of yours? Not exactly. But he's Corpse Girl's victim. You said so. Well, I don't know. You said so. Interesting. I'll look at him again. Really, there's no need for that. It's okay, I won't tell. How did you do it? I swallow hard. What does he mean? Hello? What did I do wrong? How did you kill him? Oh shit. I've messed up. He knows. Kojiro has figured out who I am. In a panic, I slam my phone down. I can hear the constant vibration against the bed as Kojiro continues to message me. Shit. Shit. What do I do? Can I make something up to convince him that I'm not the one responsible for Eiichi's death? Will he even buy it? By not responding to him straight away, I've probably inadvertently proven my own guilt. I pick up my phone between my trembling thumb and forefinger. I hold it delicately, as though it has suddenly become some sort of evidence that I don't want covered in my fingerprints. In a way, that's completely true. I stare at the messages from Kojiro. Hey, you there? Hello? I better reply. I have to say something. Maybe, just maybe, I can throw him off my trail. I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't kill anyone. Not exactly a lie. Yes, true. Corpse Girl killed them. Or killed him. No name entry on Corpse Girl's website. But you knew his name, and you knew he died. Ergo, you requested his death. Wait, this is good. This is far better than believing I'm Corpse Girl. He thinks I'm just some fan of the website that submitted a request. I have to run with this. I can't let him know the actual truth. Okay, you got me. I used the website to request his death. Ha. Wow, mad. So the site is real. Amazing. This is exciting. Are you happy he's dead? I decide to take a leaf out of Tomoe's book and act more innocent than I really am. Not really. I just made a request on a whim to see what would happen. I didn't think it would really work. Wow, so you didn't hate the guy? Eiichi? No, I never even met him, just found his photo on the internet. Incredible. Corpse Girl kills with just a photo. Doesn't even need a name. Wonder how many other Vics I've got here, lol. Have to go. Clocking off soon. Talk later. So he doesn't even... So he's not like, oh, but then why did you ask for Akane's name? Why did you ask about her? Did you request her as well? Like, that's a bit weird. Kojiro's status immediately changes to offline. I breathe a sigh of relief. I think he bought the lie. Surely I'm in the clear. But this whole conversation was an exercise in stupidity. I nearly shot myself in the foot because of my own insatiable curiosity. I shouldn't have contacted Kojiro at all. The only positive thing to come out of this is learning that Kojiro works at a hospital morgue. I could potentially take advantage of this, but my sleep-deprived brain can't quite work out how. Well, I can dwell on that later. For now, I really need to sleep. My alarm erupts with a shrieking scream and scares me awake. My eyes don't open immediately, and instead I find myself tossing and turning, trying to bury my face in my pillow. I can't have had more than 2 hours of sleep, and now it's already time to get up and go to work. How the hell am I going to function today? I drag my heavy body from the bed and slide into the pair of slippers resting on the floor. With a yawn and a stretch, I leave my bedroom. Wait, Tomoe still has that picture in her desk. I stand in the kitchenette, connected to the living room, for a few moments, completely absent-minded. I open the refrigerator and stare blankly at the dismal contents. A small tub of peach yogurt sits on the top shelf and a half-empty jug of oolong tea rests at the bottom. I grab the yogurt and peel off the lid. Without even fetching a spoon, I simply pour a little into my mouth. I consume about half of the tiny portion and wipe my mouth before throwing the leftovers in the trash can. That'll be enough to spike my energy for the morning. Yeah, just like a little bit of yogurt. When you normally run on an empty stomach, any amount of calories can work as a pick-me-up. I make a mental note to collect 2 or 3 cans of coffee from the convenience store on my way to work. They should carry me through the rest of the day. The rest of the early morning is spent applying makeup and getting dressed. I'm out of the door at the same time as every other day. To stop myself from nodding off at my desk, I decide to rearrange my personal effects. Having something to focus on is a great way to fight off sleep. Unlike the other employees here, I don't tend to keep too much at my workspace, yet it still manages to feel cluttered somehow. Next to my computer monitor are three little figurines that I collected from toy capsule machines. They're a set of anthropomorphic coffee cans that were released as a promotional campaign for my favourite coffee brand. Each figure is about the size of my thumb. They're cute little things, and when you put a coin into the capsule machine, you never know which character you're going to get. So far, I've managed to collect Captain Cafe au Lait, Lieutenant Long Black, and Madame Macchiato. If I remember correctly, there are 2 more I still need to get, but the capsule machines seem to be out of rotation now because they've been replaced with a different series of toys. If I ever want to collect the remaining figures, I'll probably need to buy them online. Oh well, I'm not super invested in having to own all of them. I give each tiny figure a bit of dusting and set them back next to my monitor, so they're all standing up straight and facing forward. Satisfied that they're tidy, I look at the small tray of drawers that sit on the other side of my monitor. I mainly just store papers and office memos in them. They're not really big enough to hold anything much larger than documents. I rummage through the drawers and discard a few old notices that aren't relevant anymore. When I'm done, I file away a couple of loose papers that have been fluttering around my desk for the last week. With that complete, I straighten up my keyboard so it's parallel with my mousepad. I give the keyboard a thorough dusting and then lean back in my chair to admire my work. The desk looks much nicer now. A clean workspace invites a clear state of mind, also my co-workers would have me believe. Maybe I'll buy into that a little bit, now that I can see the effects for myself. The corner of my eyes catch a glimpse of blonde hair and I turn to watch Tomoe enter the office. She nods at Shinya as she walks by his desk and continues nonchalantly towards her own workspace. Since her desk is in my line of sight, I have the perfect vantage point to watch her put her belongings down and take a seat. I feel a sudden stirring of excitement as she sits down. It's almost as if I'm anticipating something to happen. Was something supposed to happen with Tomoe today? Have I forgotten something important? Yeah, that picture you put in her desk. My tired mind can't really focus on those thoughts. I try to ignore the mild surge of adrenaline that started pulsing through me when she took her seat. I distract myself by starting up my computer and looking over the list of today's tasks. It looks as though I need to correct a few entries I uploaded to the company server yesterday. In my previously distracted state, it's possible I made a few typographical errors. That's fair enough. I'll get to work on correcting the data. I open up a few programs and listen to the whirring of my computer tower, nearly drowned out in the clamour of the office environment. The next sound I hear eclipses the noise of the computer and the office completely and absolutely. A terrified shriek slices through the air like a knife, leaving a deathly ringing silence in its wake. I scramble to my feet purely out of instinct, scanning for the source of the scream. I don't have to look very far before my eyes fall upon a distressed Tomoe, kneeling on the floor and clutching her face. She's on the ground next to her desk, staring down unblinkingly, her fingers white from the strain of clawing at her own head. In the sudden chaos of people rushing to her side, I somehow manage to notice that one of her drawers on her desk is wide open. An open drawer? As tired and exhausted as I am, the significance of the open drawer isn't lost on me. I immediately realize why my body subconsciously felt excited when Tomoe came into the office this morning. I left something in her desk drawer, something I wanted her to find. Yesterday's obsession with discovering the identity of the one who requested my death caused me to forget my rebellious strike against Tomoe. I left something in her drawer yesterday, thinking she was the one who submitted my photo to the website. Then she didn't come into work and it completely slipped my mind. After she confessed to requesting Akane Tsurumaki's death, I erased my suspicion of her being the one who targeted me, but I didn't remove the item from her drawer. I'm in deep, deep shit now. Before I can even lurch forward from behind my desk, Tomoe turns her head to face me. Her cold, grim eyes lock onto mine, refusing to let go. A trickle of crimson blood seeps from her scalp where her fingernails pierced her skin during her panicked scream. Swallowing my nervousness, I break eye contact with her and stare down at the flat object that was the focus of her outcry. It's a familiar photograph, a printed image on glossy paper, traditional, old school, and just as effective as I had hoped. Though I can't make out all the detail from this distance, the composition of the photo doesn't elude my memory. It's not that bad. It depicts my very own corpse, toppled backward over a tombstone. A bloody slash traces across my neck, a laceration lines my stomach, and a knife protrudes from my breast. My black hair is a tangled mess, my dark eyeliner smeared and smudged. The grimace on my face is the unmistakable mask of death. Noriko Kurosawa, a stoic and unflinching in death. Noriko Kurosawa, dead atop a random tombstone in some nameless cemetery. A bizarre yet ultimately unremarkable way to die. It suits me perfectly. I'm proud of the work that went into this photo. The object was to punish Tomoe for requesting my death, to create a work of art so horrific that she would beg for forgiveness when she found me still breathing. But the scene playing out before me is unlike anything I had imagined. Tomoe's face is scrunched up with hatred, the veins in her forehead threatening to burst and shower the office with sanguine gore at any given second. Whether or not she thinks this is some sick prank is beyond my knowledge. All I can decipher from her expression is that she's likely to strangle me given the opportunity. Why? How would she know it was you? This is weird. But perhaps I'm jumping ahead of myself. Why do I automatically assume that she believes I'm guilty of putting the photo in her drawer? I mean, aren't I the victim in the image? Perhaps she actually...
Who the fuck is responsible for this?
She howls like a wounded animal, a battered and beaten pup backed into a corner. Clutching the photo, now torn from her bloodied fingernails, she stands and plants her feet firmly on the floor. Steadfast, stern, resolute, a bulwark of immovable fury. All eyes are upon her. The bleached blonde gal girl with an antagonizing attitude is the center of attention in the office.
This photo is disgusting! Absolutely sick! Who made it?
From the confused and puzzled faces of the 20 or so employees huddled around, it's obvious that no one really knows what Tomoe is talking about. The photo is small, and with her clutching it tightly and waving it around frantically, it's impossible for anyone to make out the detail. I'm bold enough to assume that no one else has managed to properly glimpse it yet. And maybe I can prevent our co-workers from getting a closer look if I act fast. I dart out from behind my desk and approach Tomoe.
Let me see.
Tomoe aggressively thrusts the photo toward me. I take a cursory look at it and gasp loudly to add credibility to my acting. Adopting a fake countenance of shock, I grab Tomoe by the shoulder and pull her close to me. I bow my head against hers so we stand intimately in the middle of the crowd, forehead to forehead, our eyes fixated on one another. I hope my beating heart isn't loud enough for Tomoe to notice as we stand against each other. I whisper softly, my pulse quickening as I try to make my words sound urgent and confident rather than broken and anxious.
Come with me. I need to talk to you.
Tomoe tenses and stiffens, but she murmurs something that sounds like agreement. I pull away from her and grab her wrist to lead her out of the office. We exit from the throng of onlookers scratching their heads and dart toward the elevator. Shinya says nothing as we pass him. He just looks on with a pale face. The elevator ride down is silent and awkward, but eventually the doors open to reveal the ground floor lobby. We weave between the scattered couches and sculptures, making a frantic dash for the exit. We finally emerge outside into the brisk morning air. Trying hardest to catch my breath, I notice that Tomoe isn't nearly as exhausted as I am. I want to chalk up my wheezing condition to my lack of sleep, but I know that's just an excuse for my poor physical fitness. Tomoe is still holding the photo in her hand. She looks at it once more in disgust, then faces me with one hand on her hip.
You want to tell me what the fuck this is?
Look, it's difficult to explain, but I'll try my best.
I want to find out who planted this in my drawer! And look at this!
She thrusts the photo at me once again. She uses the point of her thumb to indicate the timestamp printed at the bottom of the image.
It's got yesterday's date on it. A photo of your dead body, as if you've already been killed. But here you stand.
Sure enough, the photo bears yesterday's date. The time states 9:06 p.m. I marked it as such when I was under the belief that Tomoe would find it yesterday morning. I wanted her to anxiously wait out the day until my death accompanied the rising moon. Since that didn't go down the way I planned, the confusion on Tomoe's face now is self-explanatory.
I just can't believe that corpse girl wants you dead.
What did she just say?
Huh?
This is just like what happened to Akane Tsurumaki when I requested her death. The police found a photo of her own dead body on her phone when they investigated how she died.
What? Is this public knowledge? How did I not know this?
And now you've got a similar photo. Does that mean Corpse Girl is trying to kill ya? But it doesn't make sense. It's already past the time it says here. And why was the photo in my desk drawer? What do I gotta do with it?
I'm still reeling from the information about Akane Tsurumaki. The police discovered the corpse photo on her phone. What did you expect? Of course they did. Of course they would investigate her death. It was foolish of me to assume the photo wouldn't come to light. Tomoe grits her teeth and tenderly touches a finger to the bloody cut on her scalp, then the place her fingernail slashed in anguish. She looks at her fingertip in revulsion and sighs.
Look, maybe it's my fault that Akane Tsurumaki ended up down the well. Maybe it's not. The least I can do is make sure that the fucking corpse girl doesn't come to get you as well. You ain't my friend or nothing, but sluts gotta stick it out together, right? I don't want another cold bitch on my conscience.
I feel like these are the most touching words Tomoe can string together. I'm somewhat flattered that she wants to protect me.
Tomoe, you don't have to do anything.
Yeah, I kinda do, you know? You comforted me a little when I came to you about the dead skank. Made me feel like I wasn't totally to blame, yeah? You might not be as much of a psycho as I thought. Might be a heart beating behind that flat chest.
Okay. Thanks.
Unexpectedly, the brash and brazen girl beams at me
I'm putting
brightly.
you under 24-hour surveillance. Corpse Girl's gonna have to crack my skull open before she goes sticking her fingers into yours.
Tomoe, really, that's not necessary.
Can't figure out a way to convey that I'm not actually in any danger. Well, immediate danger at any rate. It's true that there is someone out there who wants me dead badly enough to have requested it through the website, but as far as the threat of Corpse Girl coming to get me goes, I'm perfectly safe. I resign myself to simply staring blankly at Tomoe, the girl I hold so much disdain for. I know I should choose my next words carefully. Tomoe is prone to violent outbursts, even at the best of times. Oh. I don't really know what I'm gonna, what ending I'm gonna get or whatever. I don't really want to invite her too much. This is like a middle ground. Let's just go with this
I'd
one.
feel better with you looking
See where it
after
gets
me.
us.
You're damn right. Ain't no one gonna protect you as good as me.
Tomoe reaches forward and ruffles my hair in a tomboyish manner. I grimace and bear it until she's satisfied and retracts her arm with a laugh.
Ah, what are we gonna do? I don't totally believe this corpse girl person really exists, but still. Something or other killed Akane Tsurumaki. Pretty sure it wasn't suicide, what with the photo and all. Since you got one of them photos too, I reckon someone's out to get you.
Yeah, about that.
How about we hunker down at my place after work? Gals night in, right? If someone tries to break down the door to get to you, I'll show them what's what.
She really is insistent. I almost can't believe this is the same girl that slapped me across the face last week. I feel like we could almost be friends at this rate, but what happens when she finds out I'm not actually in any danger? Will she think I used her? Betrayed her? What if she finds out that I'm Corpse Girl? That would probably be the trigger that provokes her into slashing my throat herself. Tired as I am and feeling weak of will, I simply nod.
Sure. Let's go to your place after work.
Yeah, that's what's up. We'll do a snack run, okay? Gotta have chocolate and cake on a night like this.
Oh.
All of a sudden, she freezes and stares intently into my eyes.
Shit. Sorry, I didn't mean to...
It's fine. Snacks sound good.
Hey, don't feel pressured to eat, okay? I got a big appetite, so nothing will go to waste.
These weird, like, personality switches that happen very suddenly are, like, sending up flags in my head, but I wonder if that'll even come of anything, you know? Or if it's just, like, inaccuracies in their characters to force the plot along. She grins, looking proud of herself. My expression softens somewhat. Somehow, Tomoe is displaying the minimum amount of human decency, and yet it's very touching. We've somehow broken down a wall between us and removed the animosity that has hung in the air since the day we met. Suddenly, she reaches out her hand, the photograph held gently between her fingers.
Here. Better you have it than me.
Looking down at the photo, it's pretty clear that it's me in the image. I suppose it would be best to delete this evidence. I shred the photo carefully, making sure to completely destroy any of my defining features in the image. With the photo completely ripped beyond recognition, I toss it in a nearby bin. Tomoe smiles at me and we enter the office building side by side. Tomoe's apartment is not at all like I expected it would be. For starters, it's not an absolute trash heap like it always was in my mind's eye. The place is nice, fairly modern, and probably not that cheap. She lives on the outskirts of Shinjuku, so she's a lot closer to the office than I am. That probably explains why she's usually so punctual, despite her terrible work ethic. From what I can gather from my first impressions, she lives alone. A few photo frames near the entrance feature some family members, including a younger brother and sister. It's funny because she doesn't seem like the older sister type to me. The personal effects decorating the apartment aren't cheap and tacky, much to my surprise. I immediately get the feeling that she earns more money than I do, even though we have the same job. Though how could that be? We're both simple data entry temps. We'd surely be on the same contract and the same salary. I suppose she is a little bit older than me. Maybe she had a well-paying job before starting work at Temujin. Or maybe she has a side job. Either way, there's no way she could afford to live here on the same salary as me.
So, would you like a cup of tea? I've got oolong, green, barley, hojicha.
So many to choose from. I didn't take you as much of a tea drinker.
Well, of course I am. It's tradition, you know. Tradition's real important.
Huh. Yeah, I guess so. Hojicha for me, please.
Sure. Coming right up.
As Tomoe busies herself in the kitchen nook, I continue scanning the apartment. A fairly large TV sits atop a sleek cabinet against one wall of the living room. A comfortable-looking sofa fills most of the room, but gives way to a small kotatsu in the corner. During winter, a kotatsu is a very valuable piece of furniture. It's a small low table with a blanket to cover your legs. Underneath is a tiny space heater designed to warm up the enclosed area.
I like your kotatsu. I can't even fit one in my apartment.
Oh, yeah. They're great, right? Dad actually made that one for me.
Your dad made it?
I look closely at it. I don't know much about woodwork, but the whole thing looks very solid and well made. Even the blanket spread underneath the table's surface is pleasing
It's
to
probably
look
not
at.
cold enough to flick the heater on, but feel free to sit down there if you like.
No, that's okay. I'm warm enough.
A memory of my childhood flickers at the edges of my mind like a moth dancing around a flame. Sitting at a kotatsu as a child, with a warm cup of cocoa and my big sister reading a book aloud to me, I shake my head. That was too long ago to even attempt to remember clearly, and the past never really mattered much to me anyway. Tomoe has finished pouring tea, so she sits 2 ceramic mugs atop the coffee table and calls out to me.
Tea's up!
Thank you.
Oh.
So, we gotta protect you from Corpse Girl, right?
I simply nod.
Hey, wait a minute. If you got one of them photos, that means someone requested your death, right? This whole time, I've been thinking it's Corpse Girl that wants you dead. But that ain't right. It means that someone else just asked Corpse Girl to put you in the ground.
Yeah, that's what I figure.
She's not wrong. While Corpse Girl isn't actually after me, it's true that there is somebody who requested my death.
Huh. So who do you think it is? Who wants you dead?
Well, honestly, at first I thought it was you.
Yeah, I mean, last week I might have been tempted to chuck your photo on the website, but nah. You work right near me in the office. If you ended up dead, someone would trace it back
That's nice.
to me, you know? I dobbed in Akane Tsurumaki because she worked way upstairs. And we never talked, save one time when I found out she's a total skank.
Oh? So you did speak to her once? What was she like?
Fucking slut, that one. We met in the lobby. I was on one of them couches doing my makeup because I was in early one morning. She walks past me, gives me one of them looks all those snooty rich people give you. You know the type, like, I'm better than you and I know it. But you know what she said to me?
What did she say?
She says this. Honey, please wait for your clients outside the building.
Huh? What does
She thought she
mean?
was a prostitute.
Ugh, don't you get it? She was implying that I'm a hooker or something. Just by looking at me, she decided I didn't belong in the office building.
Ah,
It really pissed me off. I'm sick of people judging me like that. Yeah, I look different from y'all, but so what? I got my own style, so just fuck off.
so you're not a hooker?
Bitch. You're lucky I'm in a good mood.
I can't help but laugh along with her.
Sorry, I was just kidding.
Yeah, I know. You're not so bad, Noriko Kurosawa.
Thanks. You're not so bad yourself, Tomoe Watanabe.
We share another laugh, and I feel my tense and guarded persona slowly slipping away. This girl, this person that I detested just days ago, did I have her all wrong? We clashed countless times while working together, but now we're suddenly becoming closer. Why is that? It's almost as though some sort of maternal instinct kicked into gear inside Tomoe, and she feels the urge to keep me safe. Is it guilt over Akane Suramaki's death? Is it because she's happier overall now that she has a boyfriend? Does dating Shinya make her less pissed off at the world and less eager to lash out? I don't know the answer, but I'm glad we've been able to set aside our differences.
Right. Now we've got some tea. Why don't we watch some trashy TV?
It's not exactly my preferred way to spend an evening, but Tomoe has welcomed me into her home. We've all but buried the hatchet. It's only fair that I extend a hand of friendship as well.
Okay. Trashy TV sounds great. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Tomoe cheers and picks up the television remote with a quick flick of her wrist. We forged a bond with Tomoe. Okay, well, I'm gonna get back to this tomorrow. I got like friggin' hair on my mouth and it's like pissing me off. Okay. Yeah, we'll come back to this tomorrow.